Hey everyone, welcome to COMM 200. My name is Zach McDowell and I'll be an instructor for this class. I thought since I'm asking everyone to introduce each other, I would spend some time introducing myself. Although I spent 15 years before my PhD in Arizona, I was actually born in Northampton, Massachusetts, near where I did my PhD at UMass Amherst. Where I lived for about 10 years before moving to Chicago. This will be my fourth year here. And I have an associate's, Bachelor of Science, and a PhD, a master's and a PhD in communication studies. And my studies focus on how technology is used to communicate and participate in the creation of culture. So you can probably tell why there's a reason that I'm teaching this. My previous career was in marketing and business development in architecture, engineering, and construction management, and but I chose to leave it after about 10 years to pursue a terminal degree so I could teach at a university, which is something that is personally more rewarding for me. What I'm going to do here in this video is show you around the class a little bit, and then show you how, where to interact. And since this is online only, communication is really, really, really important here. So pay attention and read the syllabus. All right, so when you get into the class, you'll see the, a welcome here. And along the side, you'll see all the things you need to see. You've got your weekly content, which is where you go when you are going from week to week. And then assignment instructions for the discussions, the critical content summaries, and the final technology report. And then if you want some writing tips, there's some good tips there, including a video I made a really long time ago. And then the digital hallway, which is where you kind of like digitally raise your hand to ask questions. I like using the digital hallway a lot because what happens is that if you email me and you're confused about something and everyone else emails me at the same time and it's like 2 in the morning, I might not get back to you for a while. But if you go there and somebody else has the same question and I can answer it either once, or maybe one of you can answer it for each other. So it's a nice way to be able to have kind of access to answers and be able to get them faster. So okay, so let's show you kind of real quick the kind of what the weekly content looks like, what you're going to be doing from day to day. This is a summer class, so it's moving at a rapid pace. It's kind of double time. And so each week we're going to be doing 2 modules, and they're listed out here. You just go to each of the weeks, and I'll show you like module 2 here, and you just go down, and module 2's got a few things in it because we're still getting started, but you can just see like you read that, and then you read this, and then you read that. And then you do each of the things in order. It's pretty straightforward. Every week is going to have or every module is going to have a discussion. Discussions are quite a bit of the grade, so make sure you are both responding to the discussion prompt as well as responding to each other. Okay. So let's see here. Let's look at the syllabus. I'm not going to read the whole syllabus for you because I know you can read, and I expect you to read it. It's part of the class, and it's the first thing that you should be reading. There's pretty much nothing in the first module, so this is what you should be reading. The main things here are show you what the grade is because everybody's probably interested in that. 30% of your grade is the discussion forum. It is due bi-weekly. So your first discussion should be due on Wednesday, and then the second one on Sunday. Because this moves really fast, I would suggest that you have your initial post written by Wednesday for the first module, and then the reply on Thursday. And then for the second one, your initial post should be written by Saturday, and then or Friday night, and then you reply by Sunday, right? So each discussion has a post and a reply to another student. There are 4 critical analysis content summaries. They are 2 different assignments. Each assignment is 2 content summaries, which means you will take one of the academic articles that we have read together, and you will follow the instructions and do a critical analysis of them. And so you will do 2 of them. It will be one paper, like one document that you upload with 2 different articles in it. And there are 2 total assignments, meaning 4 critical analyses. 2 plus 2 is 4. And then the final paper is a technology reflection paper, which we'll talk about later. The critical analysis, I've got a lot more instructions here. Basically, each of the summaries of the articles 2 to 2.5 pages, totaling 4 to 5 pages, right, for each of the assignments. So again, 2 per assignment, 2 assignments, 4 total articles, 1 document for each of the assignments, 2 to 2.5 pages per article, right? And the idea here is really for me to see that you're engaging with the readings, you're reading them, you're engaging with them, and you're showing me that you're able to apply it to, your life, what's going on in the world. And wow, there's a lot going on in the world right now, especially regarding technology. And then the technology report is the final paper. It's 5 to 6 pages long. You're going to select a technology to reflect on. How has this helped or hindered you? And you will you have to cite at least 3 class readings for at least 5 times total, right? So 5 citations, at least 3 of the separate readings. A lot of this is going to become way more clear to you as you move on with the class, because you're going to start to understand what I mean by critical analysis, what I mean by, helped or hindered, what I mean by, talking about, how you are technologized. All of these things will become more clear as you move on through the class. So, so what is this class really about? Well, it's about technology and communication. It's about realizing that communication is technologized and impacted by technology, and language itself is even a technology. It impacts how we communicate, how we think about what is possible, how we create culture, how culture impacts the way that we think about the world and how we think about ourselves. And the point really is that you are already with technology. Technology is not something that's separate from you, really. You obviously you have your phones and your doodads and whatnots, but also my clothing is a type of technology, right? You don't go out into the Chicago winter without putting a jacket on. That's a type of technology that keeps you warm. But you don't think about it as a technology because it's already part of how you exist in the world. It helps you be in the world in certain ways. So you can't really escape technology. It's part of who you are and part of how we understand how we can exist in the world. So rather than trying to like say technology is good or bad, what instead we're saying is, what is it doing? Right? So we're gonna get pretty deep in this class. Hopefully, we're gonna talk about a lot of topics from identity to disability, from culture to memes, and from clocks to atomic bombs and modern computers. And I want you to stop thinking about technology as a tool. Instead, I want you to think about your life as being technologized and how it's affecting that. You know, who are you with technology? Fun fact about myself and technology: I've always had a computer as far as I can remember. I know that sounds like you probably also do that, but remember, I'm much older. And the first language that I learned other than English was Logo, and I've forgotten that completely. I've always been interested in video games for both entertainment as well as academic purposes. The first game I ever beat was called Wishbringer, and it had no graphics. It was a text-only adventure. It's called Interactive Fiction by a company called COMM. It was kind of popular in the late 70s and early 80s. And I still play video games today. I am playing a lot of Fallout lately. Kind of appropriate for the time. So this class is it's going to move really, really fast. I look forward to meeting you all. If you have any questions, post them in the digital hallway, unless it's of a personal nature, and then please email me. I am available all the time, basically. If I am, I might end up going for like a hiking trip on a weekend or something like that, and be away for a couple of days. But other than that, I will be around. We can meet via Zoom. We can meet however you want. But this class should be set up pretty straightforward, so you understand what's going on. Hopefully, that will allow you to kind of navigate it pretty easily. One other thing, some of the videos I did obviously before this because they were in my office and I haven't been back there in a while since the pandemic. But so I will have videos from different times that I've recorded. I am still updating some of the videos, so but I am going to leave everything open so people can kind of like read ahead if you want. But it is really important that you stay with the class when it comes to discussions. Welcome, and I look forward to seeing you all in class.